Hey everyone, welcome back to Random Conversations. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And we're going to get into the hot topic, which is Sherrone Moore, who is the ex-head coach of Michigan, the university out there in Michigan. So he was recently arrested for aggravated assault and stalking his ex-coworker or staffer. What is her name?
They didn't.
I don't think they never disclosed her name.
They protected her.
But
you know what I'm saying? There's only one party involved in this situation. You know
but a lot of people are coming for her head. But let's get into the details.
They're coming for whose head? Because don't nobody know who the hell she is.
They're coming for her head as well.
You ever played them video games where you get to the people on the bench of sports games and you don't know who the hell they are, so they just like a black silhouette.
Oh my god!
That's basically what they were like. This is the staffer. That's the close up.
Anywho,
all I know is that she's of the Caucasian persuasion.
Oh boy,
that's all I know.
Anywho, can I continue?
yeah. I'm trying to educate the audience.
Can I continue, please?
And Sherrone Moore is black. In case Sherrone was
okay. All right, we were gonna get into that later, but you just taking it too far.
I'm just letting them know.
Okay. So the staffer told Sherrone Moore that she no longer wants to have relations with him. Mind you, Sherrone Moore is married with 3 kids. So this is basically his mistress that is breaking off things with him. So it looks like he didn't take things too well. He kept calling her. He kept texting her. And she decided to take that to the university and show them all the details as to why she feels like she's being stalked. So that led to Michigan firing the head coach. And he eventually he went to her house and basically broke in and threatened to kill himself with a butter knife.
Yeah. I mean,
he threatened to kill himself with a butter knife. And he told her that she ruined his life and she's going to watch him die. So during the midst of this, she called her attorney. I don't know why she called the attorney first, but she called her attorney first. Then she ended up calling 911. Police came and they took Sherrone Moore into custody. I don't know why these men always get up into these kind of predicaments. It's like another one bites the dust, right?
What men getting into what type of predicaments?
This is not the first time you've seen a man of that stature get caught up and then their career goes down.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp, Ime Udoka comes to mind. Very similar situations.
Yeah, very similar. And I don't know why these men always getting caught up.
The women look the same and the men look the same. I don't know. It's very similar situations.
So there's a lot of scrutiny headed his way, deservedly so, because he should know better. He was on a high trajectory. He could have been an NFL coach in like the next 3 years.
I mean,
for all he knows.
The team was doing good.
Yeah, the team, Michigan was doing well. And that's a school that's very prestigious. Mm-hmm. So if you get a job there, you're bound to go to the NFL or be a staffer on that something. You're going to the NFL after a few years being a part of a college like that or a university like that. So he threw it all away, and there's nobody to blame but him. Mm-hmm. I mean, the young lady knew what she was doing, and I heard that she and the wife of Sherrone Moore follow each other on Instagram.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, they follow each other on Instagram. So the staffer knows who the wife is.
Wait, you think the wife will sue the staffer for
alienation of affection? Probably, because all the affection that was going to her could have went to the wife. But I just don't understand why men always end up in these type of predicaments. Over and over and over, you see examples of why you shouldn't do these things, but you still end up doing these things. These women don't mean you any well. So why are you getting caught up with a situation like that? It's stupid. It's blasphemous that you see another guy.
It's blasphemous?
It's blasphemous. It's crazy.
Hi, Stephen A.
Yeah. It's crazy that you end up in that type of situation. Mm-hmm. Have you not learned from previous mistakes of others? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And then when I first heard the rumblings of the story, when it was originally bubbling up, it was saying that a DoorDash person, unnamed,
he was a
unidentified DoorDash person blew the whistle on the whole thing. Basically, they were saying that Sherrone Moore had ordered a Plan B on DoorDash. When it originally started bubbling up, friggin' Sherrone Moore it was said that it was reported that he had ordered a Plan B off of DoorDash, and then the DoorDash driver had sent him had basically blew the whistle on him.
He was a whistleblower.
Yeah, the coach of Michigan was ordering a Plan B for someone, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what started the whole investigation. I don't know if that's true or not, but when I heard that, I was pissed. I was like, "There's supposed to be some sort of expectation of privacy when you're using services like that." I'm like, that's unethical to say the least. Like my and you don't even know what he might have been ordering the Plan B for. Could have been for his wife.
Yeah.
And
she could use Plan B too.
Coaches work long hours, 80 hours a week. That's not unheard of for a coach at that high level to be working. They practically live in the office, and there is no off season.
They're saying that he could have spent more time with the staffer than his actual wife.
Oh, he definitely did. Normal people spend more time with their coworkers than they do with their significant others. You work 80 hours a week. You sleep in. You know what I'm saying?
You go straight back, back to work.
You work 40 hours a week. You sleep 40 hours a week. So in between that, you spending time with your family and your significant others. So, you definitely spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your family. And so I could see a situation where he seen this girl, and then all of a sudden they grow to be close. But it seems he elevated her to be his personal assistant or something like that. Oh,
and there's another report that she was making about $52,000 when he first started. And then unexpectedly, her salary went up to $90,000 with no explanation as to why her salary went up to.
Oh, they finally identified this chick.
What is her name?
Her name is Paige Shiver, the executive assistant of fired Michigan coach Sherrone Moore. And he elevated.
Oh, so she was his EA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is why he got terminated.
That's why they say, "Oh, he's sleeping with the secretary."
That's why he got terminated. That's right, exactly. He was like, "Yo, I like you, and I need you up under me. I need you close." And so he elevated her to that position so he could have her right there in the pocket. So whenever he needed her. But yeah, they finally identified her. And I'm happy they did, because it's two people
she
involved.
Belongs in the.
Yeah, she belongs in. She's a big part of the narrative.
Her feet needs to be held to the fire as well,
right? Because she knew. You said she followed. She followed him. She followed the wife.
The wife.
So she knew he was married, and she still did the damn thing. But it seems like she tried to break it off, and he just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So and then he lost his.
And what are these men in the comments saying?
Like, yo, her joint would be crazy. Got him losing his goddamn mind.
Got him threatening himself with butter knives.
Yeah, that she must have something crazy going on down there, because my man was hooked.
Yeah.
To the point where he threw away $12 million because I think that's what he was.
And they said it was going on for years.
Right.
When did he become Michigan?
I know he became Michigan's head coach.
What year?
This season, and last season
he was a staffer.
He was their offensive coordinator, and he was head coach for about two games or something like that during I don't know if Harbaugh was suspended.
It was Harbaugh,
or something like that.
He took over Harbaugh's position
as an interim, and that's how he was able to parlay that into
a lot of
head
people
coach.
Were also saying that they feel like it might have been a setup from the university because they weren't too gung ho on Sherrone.
Well, he was the first black head coach in their history.
Yeah, in the school's history, and a lot of people were saying this was their way to get him out.
They were like, "See, this is why we don't hire these motherfuckers." Yeah.
But there was allegations even before she came forward with the information, and HR found there was no evidence showing that there was something going on between those two, and basically there was like there's no cause for him to get fired. So with this information that she brought up after she cut things off and he decided like, no, we're still going to continue, that's when the school decided, okay, now it's time to sever ties. Because this wasn't something that just came out the blue. So there was rumblings in the university that they were going together on the low, and they didn't find anything to corroborate stories that other people were telling them. So it wasn't an inside job, because
well, I don't think it was inside. Once you hear
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, they wanted him out."
Well, you're always gonna hear that type of stuff. You're always gonna hear those rumblings
specifically because of his race.
Yeah, but I think after you hear all the nuance to the story, once you hear it in its entirety, I mean, the more you hear as it comes out, the more legitimate his firing is, because it's their policy that as a supervisor or someone that's deemed to be in power, you can't date your subordinates. And when he made her his executive assistant, she became his direct subordinate, and having a relationship with her was a big no-no. It was a violation of the policy. And it was a fireable offense. And all I gotta say is I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for him because he freaking lost his mind. Man threw away $12 million.
He knew what he
$12 million. I feel bad for him only that because he wanted to end it all over it. So I think he got a little bit too caught up in that.
Well, look at it. His life is pretty much over.
Yeah.
He's never going to get a head coaching job, especially at that stature. He might get Pop Warner.
Yeah, he might coach Pee Wee.
He might get high school. That's the highest it might get. But he's never going to be on a collegiate level again. Unless, but look at what happened. I mean, the severity of the two cases are not the same. Look what happened to Ime Udoka. What was it, last year or 2 years ago with the Celtic
I don't think
organization?
I don't think that she was his subordinate, though. I think she was just someone who worked within the organization, and they cut ties. But look at it. It's very similar situations. Either way, she
was within the organization. Either way, it looked bad because he was engaged to Nia
Long. It looked bad because he was engaged. But
it looked bad either way. But now he's resurrected his career. Yeah, because now, a lot of people, women still like, oh, that's the guy. But men are like, meh. Yeah, but he resurrected his career, and now he's a head coach again, and he's doing well with his new team. Yeah, so maybe
when you think about the two situations, there's no maybe because he was married. The severity
of this case is different because he got arrested. Those two never got arrested.
There's different levels to this story.
What I'm
their stories are not even comparable, only because Ime wasn't even married. He wasn't married. He had no children with this woman either.
He did.
He didn't have any children with Nia Long.
Yes, he did. He has a son with Nia Long.
He has a son.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
Well, he wasn't married to her. That's one nuance. Two, the lady wasn't his direct subordinate, like in this situation with Sherrone Moore. And number three, he didn't break into his mistress's house and try to harm himself in her presence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The severity of the cases are different.
It's completely different. It's just way more severe when you look at.
He had a total crash. Like he crashed out.
Yeah,
this man, he crashed out to the point where nobody's ever like. If you are a man of that stature, it's crazy how you just let all of this just make you go crazy and crash out like that.
Yeah, normally
go into her house and be like, "I'm gonna kill myself. It's all your fault."
Normally,
making her feel guilty.
Normally, the thought is
though she should feel guilty.
Normally, the thought is that in those type of situations, is the man that's in a position of power, which is why they put those policies in place and they punish the people in power. But it seems that they were both full participants in it, and she decided one day, all right, that's it. She decided it was over. She didn't feel beholden to him because of her position under him. She ended it, and he lost his mind. So it's interesting. It's interesting to look at it from that perspective, because society always tells you that the man in those situations is the one in charge, where he went crazy because he lost control, because she took control and she ended it. Right. So, that's kind of food for thought too.
Yeah.
Because the assumption is the man's in charge. And when in a lot of cases, that's not the case.
But we don't know how long this affair was going on. We don't know how long it was going on for. They said years.
Yeah. Because at first I was
so that's probably, he became the head coach of Michigan in January of 2024. Yeah. So it's close to 2 years he's been the head coach. So
and he had 2 winning seasons, because this season is a winning season.
Maybe this has been going on when he wasn't even a head coach yet.
Maybe, possibly. When he was an offensive coordinator, because he was an offensive coordinator under
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh, yeah.
I mean, it's a sad situation all around. Sad for him, sad for the family, sad for Michigan, the university, because it's not their first time dealing with controversy.
And it's sad for Paige, because she had to deal with someone like that. Like, he completely,
she didn't think.
I don't think she would expect. Yeah, she nobody expects that. Nobody expects that you break up with somebody that they're gonna break into your house and threaten to hurt themselves.
There's stories of men doing that.
Yeah, but that's not an expectation.
He's not the first, and he won't be the last.
Right, but that's not an expectation when you go into relationships that's going to happen. Right? You just think, okay, we're going to go our separate ways. We might argue. we might have angry text exchanges, but
he was like, this bitch don't know the real me. I'm about to break in her house. Playing with me like that.
I'm about to break in her house.
Yeah,
I'm about to
she don't
take
know
her butter
what
knives.
she done started. It's all your fault. But I just hope that men learn from this, because we see this way too often.
They ain't gonna learn.
Especially with black men. They don't learn.
They ain't gonna learn.
They don't learn.
It's like once you get successful.
When you touch fire, you will get burned.
It's like you get successful, and it's like you get these blinders on, and you feel like
you're invincible, and
but
you're
I'm like,
not.
How many of us have to be taken down a peg because of situations like this before we start moving differently? I mean, I just don't get it.
So now it's time to hear from his side. Mind you, we are reporting this. Well, we're talking about this the same week that it happened. We're 2 days removed from when the news came out. Mm-hmm. So when this airs, there might be more information.
Yeah.
And
because as you can see, we got information tonight. We were able to identify.
And if we could talk about it the next time we tape, then we will. Mm-hmm. And then there's more information gonna come out.
Y'all won't believe this.
Yeah.
The DoorDash person was Paige's baby daddy.
Right? No, even though she has kids. But yes, so next we're gonna probably hopefully hear his side. I don't know what he's gonna say to make himself look innocent, or I guess less guilty than he already is.
He might as well play the mental health card.
Yeah, and plead insanity.
just play that.
But what in him snapped is the question.
Man, it's just a
bruised ego because she broke it off.
It wasn't a bruised ego. He was heartbroken. The man wanted to.
I'm the head coach. How you gonna break up with me?
If you want to end it all over a breakup, I mean, you were wrapped up in this other individual, and it kind of blindsided you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And his daughters is gonna be hard for his daughters, because to see your dad losing it over another female like that, mm-hmm. it's not going to be good.
It's embarrassing.
And they're probably, I don't know how old they are, but this is going to follow them. And that's what certain people don't understand, that it's going to follow your children. And
well, I don't know about that. I think after
because
a few
they're like,
years,
that's your dad and blah, 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 blah.
After a few years, you probably won't even, because Moore is a very popular last name. You know, it's not like you going to school tomorrow. My name is Alexander Kardashian. Like,
well,
what?
you know, children like to Google a lot of stuff. They're going to find out.
I ain't never been.
I ain't
never been that interested in some.
But you know whose kids never
Google them.
You know whose kids never got backlash from their parents' actions? Well, Kim Kardashian.
They definitely probably get backlash.
I don't think so.
If Russell Westbrook kids get backlash because he wasn't making jump shots.
His kids got backlash?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they was getting picked. They was getting bullied at school.
Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, now we don't have a friend of the show. He won't be a friend of the show. You know he don't like to be called that.
I never called him that. I just assumed that that's what these kids were calling him.
You know what, Russ, if you ever decide, if we ever get big enough and you want to be on the show, she will not be here that episode. Don't even worry about it. His name is Russell Westbrook.
I know. I actually love Russell Westbrook. Don't get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. So why'd you call him the other name?
Because I was just saying that's what the other kids might be calling him. I didn't know that his kids were getting bullied.
The disrespect is real.
Of his shooting abilities. They don't know that Russell Westbrook is a top 75 NBA player.
Mm-hmm. And rightfully so.
With the amount of triple doubles that he's earned over his career. So don't do that. Mm-hmm. Russell, don't listen to him if you ever watch this.
He's like, how the hell I'm catching strays in this joint? This man over here.
Anywho, so we're gonna take a total left turn and talk about our newly elected mayor, Zohran Mamdani, and what he's planning to do with the homeless in New York City.
He's trying to ruin this damn city.
So a story came out and said that he is going to allow homeless people to have the camps out in the street. He's going to make that return to New York City. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is going to be a quality of life nightmare, because
Yeah.
you know how much homeless people we have in the city? Imagine every one of them having a tent. Where are these people going to go? And that's one thing that we don't know. Are they going to be in the streets? Are they going to have an encampment, like a big area where they could all have camps? I'm not sure. But a lot of people are saying like this is not good, including the current mayor, Eric Adams, stating that this is a quality of life nightmare. It's not productive to the city and the quality of life that we're trying to live. And I actually agree with that. I like Zohran, but I don't know if I would like to see camps scattered across the 5 boroughs with homeless people in them.
He gonna turn New York red.
I think that they deserve to be in a shelter with 4 walls, an actual building. Yeah, there might be some. What's that word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
There's some stipulations. There might be some stipulations that goes along with it being in a shelter. I know they have to be out from like the hours of 8 to 5 or something like that. I could be wrong.
I know they have to get to the shelter by a certain time.
Yeah, they have a curfew and they have to be
yeah.
outside. And I think they're trying to say, oh, you need to be looking for a job, your time outside of the shelter. So there are some stipulations that goes into being housed in a shelter. But I don't think encampments and having these people just out in the street like that is good. I don't think it's productive.
Well, I heard when it was reported that an official within the NYPD was basically saying that, you know, yeah, there is a homeless issue in New York City, right? But he doesn't feel that. And he said, yeah, Mayor Eric Adams' plan to deal with it by getting rid of the homeless encampments. It hasn't really been like a massive success, but he said, you know, it's a plan in place, and why get rid of it if you don't have a plan in place to, you know, replace that initiative, right? Because Zohran is basically saying, we're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna stop going after New Yorkers. We're gonna allow them to build their encampments and whatnot, because his major thing was, you know, under the current administration, under the Adams administration, NYPD had removed a lot of encampments, but they didn't house those people, right? You just moved them. He said they were homeless and cold in one area, and you just moved them to another area, right? And one of the major issues with getting homeless people off the street is that they'd rather be on the street than be in the shelters, because the shelters are very dangerous.
Yeah, they
right?
get their valuables stolen.
It seems to me that, and not only that, but they also lose all their stuff that they accumulate. If you see a lot of homeless people on the street, they have a lot of personal belongings that they just carry around with them at all times. They have like shopping carts or what have you. When you go into the shelters, you can't bring that stuff with you. So you have to leave it out on the street, and then they get thrown out. So you lose basically all your worldly possessions, right? So a lot of them aren't too keen on that either. So they need to
the shelters need to
revamp the shelters.
Yes.
They need to
and change their rules.
And this is why, and he's talking about he don't want to hire more cops. It's like, you need to hire more cops, maybe place cops inside shelters to make them more secure and safe, right? And build more shelters to get them off the street, right? And then maybe storage units so that maybe they can't keep all their stuff, because I've seen some homeless people with like 4 and 5 shopping carts full of crap, right? But maybe
most of them have mental issues,
right? And that too. So you're saying that, oh, you know, they have a requirement that if you're going to be in a shelter that you need to seek employment. But what if they're not mentally capable of holding down a job, right? So
it's our responsibility to make sure they can live.
Right. It's so much nuance to the problem, but I think the worst thing that you could do is to allow encampments to continue, because me as a taxpayer, me as a homeowner, I don't want to wake up one morning and see a tent in front of my house on my block.
Has NYC ever had that? I don't recall.
Recall what?
Seeing tents.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
It's not, I've seen them in parks. They have these encampments, and some of these encampments are very extravagant. They steal electricity from the
I've
poles
never
and
seen
all that
this
stuff.
in all my years of living here. I've never
They
seen
be having
that.
heaters. They be having TVs. All of that.
I know they have so I see like one, like they have all these blankets just covering them. Like it looks like they built something and they have blankets all over, especially when it's cold outside. I've seen that, but
No,
not
having,
in abundance of it.
They be having tents and they be.
I've never seen an abundance of that.
I have seen it. And you probably haven't seen an abundance of it recently because Merrick Adams had an initiative to get rid of that stuff, right? And you pay
certain things
so much.
he's done.
He not so bad, right?
He wasn't that bad.
His ideas, like
I'm a Zohran fan, but Eric Adams, the only issue we really had with him is that he just never. He was always outside.
I don't care if you're outside as long as you're getting the work done.
He was always, and it's making it like, bro, what is it that you're doing? But now that when you sit back and talk about it and actually reflect, he did a few good things for this city.
Well, people didn't like him because
of his brash personality.
That I think one was the initiative
and
where
the
he
rent.
No,
because under his reign, the rent went up 12% from the time De Blasio left to where we at now. De Blasio left in I think 21. To where we're at now, the rent has gone up at least 12% in the span of 4 years.
He did give unionized New Yorkers like a 15% raise.
Yeah, I know that.
So, and that was like one of the largest raises in history.
He said, "We're gonna pay y'all.
Right?
We gonna pay y'all."
So you gotta applaud him for that. He got rid of the rats because at one point in time it was like the streets belonged to them. Especially after a certain time at night, I was walking in the street as opposed to the sidewalk because the sidewalks, they owned it.
Full of them.
Right? Now you might see one or two, but it's not near the levels that it was maybe a year or two ago. Right? So he did that. But I think people really had a bad taste in their mouth concerning Adams because of his relationship with Donald Trump. And people saw him as a puppet, right? And then the allegation of corruption.
And he did reduce crime. Crime has went down tremendously. Mm-hmm. I think I just saw a statistic the other day that we've gone a very long time without a homicide, which is very good. Which is not through like fires, because no.
Are you sure about that? Because I've been seeing people get shot every day. Like,
but did they die?
Like they went 2 hours without a homicide.
But did they die though?
They probably died.
Homicide, you die.
Yeah, I know.
But you get shot doesn't mean you die. Hold on.
I don't know about that.
Let me go look for it.
I'll pull that back because people die in New York every day.
Do you watch the news often?
Yeah, every day.
What news do you watch?
News 4.
They lying to you. They lying to you.
They lied to me.
I watch ABC 7
you need to get
and
off,
I haven't seen.
You need to get off that Wikipedia.
I don't use Wikipedia.
You need to get a Wikipedia.
I watch Channel 7 News.
Just ask AI.
What was the question again? So New York City's longest stretch without a homicide is 12 consecutive days, a record that was recently tied in 2025. From November 25th to December 7th, we matched a previous record that was set in 2015.
Oh,
that's what I saw. From November 25th to December 7th, we haven't had a single homicide.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we have one now because
because Zohran got the nomination and now
we killing each
the
other.
Killers is out. They're like, yeah, this is our mayor right here.
The streak ended on the night of Sunday, December 7th, when a 38-year-old man was fatally shot in guess what borough?
The Bronx.
Yes.
Yep. It's like Charlamagne said. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx.
But you know what my theory is? Because a lot of New Yorkers go down to Florida.
Mm-hmm. And they probably from the Bronx.
Exactly. So it's just those people from the Bronx that went to Florida and now making Florida crazy. That's my theory. But yes, I don't think this encampment for the homeless people, I don't think it's productive at all. Yeah, and I don't think we should put that back into our streets.
Your boy crazy. He's like, I don't know. His plans just, I don't know. I think he's going to ruin this. You know what? Ruin is a harsh word.
Let's not say that.
I think he's going to leave office.
Well, he's not in office yet. Maybe he has a couple of weeks to change his mind about that.
I think when he leaves office, he's going to leave New York in worse shape than he found it.
We'll see. I don't think so.
He's raising taxes. He putting homeless people.
Is he raising taxes on you?
He raising taxes on us. How you think he's gonna pay for all these free initiatives?
He said he was gonna tax the rich.
No, okay. You hold on to that. He gonna raise taxes on us.
You saw he's moving into Gracie Mansion?
Yeah, because he ain't rich.
He lived in an apartment building.
Right. So how he gonna live in that apartment building as mayor? He be getting harassed every day.
Everybody moves to Gracie Mansion.
No, I don't think Bloomberg lived in Gracie Mansion.
Well, he didn't need to.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's a billionaire.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, of course he's moving to Gracie Mansion. He's not rich, right? And at least not yet. Wasn't
he the one that served 3 consecutive terms as mayor? I feel like he
Bloomberg.
did. Yeah, Bloomberg is what I'm talking about, which is crazy.
New Yorkers loved him. I don't know why, because he made the city so unaffordable. He started the bus lane nonsense and the bike lanes and city bikes all over the goddamn place.
That was him?
Yeah, that's
him.
That
was Bloomberg?
That was Bloomberg.
I could have sworn I just saw bike lanes like a couple years ago.
That's Bloomberg. He beautified the city. He cleaned it up. He made it look really nice, and a lot of the
he tried to make people eat healthy. I remember those ads.
Well, because he reduced the size of drinks.
Yeah, I remember those ads when I used to go home from school on the trains. You pour a soda, and soda would, like, you see the liquid, but then in the cup it's nothing but fat.
Yeah,
and it was disgusting.
You see
it would turn you off from drinking soda.
No, but you see Eric Adams. He tried to make everybody vegan, and he got a ton of blowback for that. Mm-hmm. But I guess when you're a billionaire, you get over.
Yeah, so we'll see how that's going to go with Zohran and these homeless encampments. And
Zohran will be like, halal food for everybody.
No, I'm taking that out. No bueno.
Whatever.
So the next topic that we had wanted to talk about was mental health, and hold on. Damn.
You should read from the.
Yeah, I just want to pull.
Don't read the caption. Read the actual photos, but don't read there's a photo with a bar graph. Don't read that.
Okay. And this study came out of England because it's from the BBC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it says it references London.
Mm-hmm.
I mean England.
Okay.
But I think it's a problem that affects us all.
Yeah, not just England. Yeah. It's the whole world, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to get into this next topic about mental health and if it's being overdiagnosed. So the study, BBC News, which is out of the United Kingdom, Great Britain specifically, said earlier this week the health secretary ordered an independent review into why demand for mental health, ADHD, and autism services in England are rising. So they sent a questionnaire to more than 5,000 GPs. What's that?
Oh, general practitioners.
Okay. So they sent a questionnaire to more than 5,000 general practitioners in England about their experiences helping patients with mental health concerns. 725 of them responded. And they said that a lot of them are being overdiagnosed a little. So 259 out of the 752 said that mental health issues are being overdiagnosed a little. And 183 of them said it's being overdiagnosed a lot. So in my opinion, because they also said that a lot of people said life being stressful is not an illness. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think that the stresses of life is a mental illness. I don't think so. I don't think stress is that much of it. I don't think that's a mental illness. A lot of people deal with stress, but it depends on how the stress is inflicted into your life. Are you self-inflicting stress into your life, or is it coming from exterior sources like family members? If you're inflicting stress on your life, you might have a mental illness. That's what I think about the situation. But overall, I do think certain people might be overdiagnosed, but that's just my opinion on that. How do you feel? Because this is something that you had really wanted to touch on. Yeah,
I think because it was interesting to see that it was that the topic came out of the BBC, came from BBC, and that they're dealing with that overseas, because I feel like that's an issue that's currently happening here in America. I feel like doctors are so quick to medicate whenever you come to them with a problem. If they, especially when it comes to children, if they feel that, as a parent, you come to the doctor and say, "Oh, my kid is hyper. Oh, he just can't sit still. He can't concentrate. Oh, he got ADHD. Take these pills and he should be fine." Sometimes I think it's important to go the non-medication route first before you decide to medicate, because those medications a lot of the times dull the child. Like, it dims their personality. I feel like you kind of take away a little piece of them when you give them these medications and whatnot. And then it's not something that they end up coming off of at a certain point in time. It's like they just keep on using those medications for the rest of their life.
It also
and a lot of times it's unnecessary.
severity.
A lot of the times those children that are hyper, that have trouble concentrating, they eventually grow out of it. With age, they just calm down. It's hard as a parent to kind of go through those growing pains with your child, because not only is it frustrating for the child, but it's frustrating for you. But at the same time, you have to think, am I medicating this kid because he needs it, or because I need him to behave? Sometimes just finding a therapist and taking your child to a therapist once or twice a week might do the trick. I think that you should try those type of things before you go ahead and medicate. And also when it comes to adults, I feel like right now in the times that we live in, stuff like sex and recreational drug use are so desensitized in the public eye. And so everybody's doing, some form of recreational drug to calm down and relax, whether it be having a glass of wine at the end of a work day or popping an edible, right? And so, it's not far-fetched to take medication to cope with the stress of life. But I don't think that that's the way to deal with life. I think that you need to experience life. You need to learn how to cope and deal with life, and not dull the outside noise with medication, right?
Well, it also depends on how people could, I guess it's like you use the child with like ADHD, for example. Say if the parent can't control, like they don't know how to deal with a child with ADHD, and they feel like medication is the right way to handle that situation. It also depends on the parent and their bandwidth and how much they can take, because they don't want to like harm their child because they can't get them to stop jumping. So maybe the medication for the parent, for them to actually deal with the child, can be beneficial for them.
Right, but that's what I said. I said, is giving the child
Not
medication
everybody
beneficial to the child, or is it beneficial to you? Because if you can ask yourself that question.
Yeah, but you're the one raising the child. So at that point.
Right, but it's not about you. You cannot put the child's well-being, your well-being, over the well-being of that child. You can't. You'll be doing that child. I get what you're saying, but sometimes parents. You can't just.
Sometimes parents can't deal with it, but they don't want to harm their child. They don't want to give their child up because they can't deal with certain things. Well, so they look for the best route.
Well, that's why I say sometimes go the therapeutic route, right? Try to find a therapist or something that's
because there's parents out there who've done all of that, and they
right. Well, if you exhaust
nothing, if you exhaust all measures, then
right. If you exhaust all measures, then okay.
You have to give them the medication that they need.
My thing is, medication shouldn't be the first measure that you take. Right.
It should never be the first.
Right.
Yeah.
Exhaust other measures before you turn to medication.
So we go back to the life being stressful, and how certain people think that it's an illness.
Yeah, well, like when it comes to like adults and how we deal with the stresses of life, like, what is it? I heard it somewhere saying that, there's people go through three things in life. It's like, think of life as like a raging storm. It's either you're in the eye of the storm,
You're on the outskirts.
You're entering the storm or you've exited the storm. Everyone is either in one of those phases, but life is constant like that. Your storm might not be as big every time, but you're always going through some sort of storm. Either you're moving or you got a new job or you got kids or your relationship is rocky. There's always something happening that you got to deal with.
But is it self-inflicting though?
Not everything is self-inflicting. Sometimes life happens to you.
But certain people like to, they unbeknownst to them, they throw themselves into a stressful situation all the time. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you consider that some type of problem that they have?
Well, I don't think that it's a mental illness though. I think it's just choices that you make and you have to see for yourself. Because sometimes people don't see that it's the choices that they make. Sometimes
because I can understand if it's
some people feel like they just have bad luck, but when they sometimes it takes you a few times of having a run of like just shitty outcomes before you kind of stop and take an assessment of everything that's happened to you and you realize, well, shit, I'm making some freaking terrible freaking decisions right now.
Because there's some people who've been stressed out for a very long, like years and years and years, and they can't seem to get themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm. And there's some people who just
they do all the self-reflection, but then still end up in the same stressful situation.
Well, you see it all the time. People will self-reflect. People will come to the right conclusions, but executing is different. It's easy to say things and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this. How many New Year's resolutions have been made and broken, right? People are like, I'm going to freaking work out. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to work hard and get promoted. I'm going to do this and that. And a lot of people, you work hard for a few months and then those goals, those aspirations kind of fall to the wayside, So you got to think of it as, is it a mental health thing or is it just me just not making the best decisions? Is it me just being too sensitive? Mm-hmm. Those things could be working. Life is tough. Right, life is tough. You got to learn. You got to build a callus.
1 minute people are being underdiagnosed. Next minute people are being overdiagnosed.
I mean, you'll never have.
There's never a middle ground.
You'll never have the true answer because they have these studies and they only maybe study about maybe like 100,000 people or whatever. There's 8 billion people on the planet, so unless you have every individual on the planet in this study, you're not going to get a 100% accurate reading of what's actually going on. But you see it all the time. People just like, like I said, recreational drug use and stuff like that is rampant now. Things that was taboo, like marijuana, is not taboo anymore. So, and they said the statistics show that recreational marijuana use is on the rise. Drinking is down, but they've replaced drinking with marijuana, right? So people are finding ways to cope with the stress of life by using recreational drugs. So it's not a crazy leap for them to go to a doctor and get a prescription to cope, right? Because they're using other things to cope instead of managing their stress.
You think this is I don't know, maybe because of the overutilization. A lot of people are going to therapy, and I just Googled because I want to make sure that I'm right, that therapists are allowed to diagnose mental illnesses. Mm-hmm. So with the rise of people, especially adults, going to therapy, maybe this is the reason why people are saying, well, these general practitioners are saying that a lot of these mental illnesses are overdiagnosed.
Well, I think people go to therapy because some people go to therapy because they don't want to be medicated, right?
They want somebody to talk to.
Right.
But then you're a doctor. You also have to see signs if this person has a mental illness or not. Mm-hmm. And maybe they could be overdiagnosing these people that go. And
it's also on a case-by-case basis when it comes to the doctor. Some doctors believe in medicating. Some doctors believe in therapy, right? So it depends on who you go to, right? A lot of doctors don't want to put you on medication right away. They want to go through the steps, do the hard work in therapy to try to get you to get on the right track and get you, to becoming a functional member of society again. And there's some doctors that just want to throw medication at you.
It's something we'll never find a middle ground to. It's something that we'll never find a middle ground to.
But
you don't know. All these people are out here saying that, I have bipolar. I'm bipolar, and the next thing they're really not bipolar.
Right.
Like, we don't know anything. I don't know anything anymore.
But I definitely do think me personally.
But I like the fact that people are taking the steps toward going to licensed professionals to get to the bottom of why they're feeling the way they feel.
Yeah. But me personally, I do think that is that overdiagnosed. Life is hard. Life is supposed to be. Life is hard, right? 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody's different. Everybody's kind of out for self, and not everybody, especially with social media, and you seeing certain people winning, and you want to win, and you don't know why you're not winning, and
this is why Australia banned it.
Yeah,
for these children.
You go on social media and you'll find these sites that tell you, like, if you do this and if you do that, this will happen for you. This will happen for you, and then you'll have that section of society that do all the things, they check all the boxes, and they still don't get the exact outcome that they wanted, and then they internalize that as them not being good enough.
You think if Sherrone Moore went to a therapist, he wouldn't have went up into that lady's house with a butter knife, or took a butter knife out the drawer?
Yeah, like if he went to a therapist to talk about his affair, and to, or maybe went to marriage counseling to try to work things out in his marriage. Maybe it would have never gotten to that point. Right. But I don't think.
Do you think he would have been overdiagnosed? I don't think so.
I don't think medication would have solved that, because to me he seemed like love make people do crazy things too. So I don't know if he is a prime candidate to say that he had a mental illness. I
just wanted to tie everything up a bow. So I just wanted to tie up everything and say this was another episode of Random Conversations. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And you can
like, subscribe, comment. We're on all the social media, a lot of the social media platforms.
And True Social.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Please, in the comments, let us know what you think. If there's any topics that you see that you would like us to cover, put that in the comments as well. And more than likely, we'll cover it.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.